How's it going, everyone? Today I will be comparing the hardware that is needed to run Salt and Sanctuary compared to the new Lego Batman. Now, I think this is going to be more surprising than you will realize. So, Lego Batman, it's the newest Lego game. It looks fun, don't get me wrong. However, it is incredibly horribly optimized. So, first things first, before we jump into Lego Batman, let's just look at Salt and Sanctuary. So if we look down here, the processor we need is an Intel Core 2 Duo, 2 GB of RAM, an NVIDIA 9600 GT, and 2 GB of storage. I built this for an Intel and NVIDIA because that's what my computer has now. I'm a little biased there. However, you could do this with AMD. It's pretty much the same thing. Anyways, I'm just gonna price these out and show you how much different it is. Just to start off here, so this is I don't know, it's the HP Comapring Pro 6000, whatever. Anyways, for $20, what we get here is absolute bundle. Not only does it come with the motherboard, it comes with the CPU, the Intel Core 2 Duo, and 4 GB of DDR3 RAM. This is overkill already, double the RAM needed. Now, the GPU it recommended was a NVIDIA 9600 GT, and surprisingly enough, this is actually a somewhat expensive graphics card. Obviously $50 isn't that much, but still, it gets the point across. You would think this is a very old, very outdated graphics card. However, I think because of that, the prices have kind of gone up. And for that reason, I actually chose a different graphics card for this. The graphics card I'm going with is the GTX 550 Ti. This is a better graphics card than the 9600 GT. However, it is only $13. So, better graphics card. There's no reason not to get this one compared to the 9600. It's better and it's cheaper. And finally, we'll get into the storage. So what we have here is a high capacity 40 GB hard drive for the low price of $13. Really not bad. Anyways, this all totaled together is $46. I know it's a heavy price there. Granted, keep in mind this doesn't include the case, the CPU cooler, and the power supplies. We can just tack on another $100 for that. Let's just say, pretty old stuff. If we were even doing generous, we could do 200, but I feel like 100's fair because in all reality, you don't even need a case. So yeah, let's just say. But so for the hardware, only $46. Now let's go into Lego Batman. Okay, now we're into the real meat of this video. What Lego Batman, probably one of the worst optimized games of current time. What does this need here? And also remember, we're going by the recommended minimum. The minimum's still insane. You have to have an i5 10600K. That's a pretty good CPU. That's insane that you have to have a 10600K. Oh well, it's even more insane to get to the recommended. Intel Core i7-12700. 16 GB of RAM, that's really not that surprising. And a 2070 Super with 50 GB of storage. That's kind of crazy that you have to have an i7-12700 and a 2070 Super. A Lego game should not. An i7-12700 is just that's kind of crazy. Oh well, let's get into the pricing of this. Starting off strong, we got the Intel Core i7-12700KF. And the K just basically means you can overclock it. And the F, that just means it has no integrated graphics. So, it doesn't really mean, it doesn't change the performance of it, is basically what I'm trying to say. But it's $200, which isn't necessarily a bad price for this, but this is like 3 or 4 times more than what the entire computer costed Salt and Sanctuary. And then, to go along with it, obviously we need a motherboard, and this one, $70. This has it's the LGA 1700, which is what the socket this one needs right there. So this is already $270 just for the CPU and the motherboard. And it just starts getting more and more crazy. So now let's go into the RAM here. The reason why the RAM was so cheap last time is because, well, it's DDR3, and nobody wants DDR3. It's kind of useless. It's not useless, but you know. This one's DDR4, so 16 gigabytes of DDR4 here is $90. That I don't know. This is decent priced RAM for nowadays, but that's still $90. It's getting up there. Now let's get into the graphics card you need, and this is the 2070 Super for $190. 2070 Super honestly is a pretty good graphics card. I don't really know what's going on here. I think this is its own little computer now that I'm looking at it. I'm kind of confused. That doesn't really matter. It's in there regardless, so that's all that matters. But something that I did found kind of interesting, keep in mind this is $190, was this. It's a RTX 2080 Super, which is much better for $160. However, this is a bidding one, and it already has 3 bids, so this will more than likely go over the $200, which is why I priced it for this one, because this, we know it's going to be $190, where this one will probably be over that. It'll probably be over $200. It's definitely not going to stay at $160. I would buy it if that's the case. This is a good graphics card. And finally, let's just go into the storage. For SATA SSD, this is 50 gigabytes, or no, sorry, even better, it's 100 gigabytes for $52. That's really not bad. SATA SSD, which is, it's good enough. It's good, you know, it's good. Anyways, for the ground total, $602. You need $602 on top of a, what is this? Is this a $70 game? Yeah, $70 game just to play Lego Batman. That's insane. That's insane. I've never played Lego Batman, but it can't be that much better, where you would need an astronomical more amount of money than Salt and Sanctuary. I played Salt and Sanctuary. It's a very good game. Lego Batman, can it really be better than Salt and Sanctuary? Probably is. But is it like $600 more? $600 better? I don't think so. Anyways, this has been Design Confidence, and this was comparing hardware of Lego Batman to Salt and Sanctuary. Thank you.